my stuff from YouTube. No, really though, because the dude he was explaining it, and that's what he said. He said the firmware is not going to happen with the OS itself is going to get hacked.
Because the firmware is pretty much an OS. You could think of it as a smaller scale, but it's still firmware. You can think of OS as firmware. It's just like the system, like the user interface, like how it's going to work. It's firmware, or like OS is like, it's just like I guess you could say a cooler way to say it, so people be like, oh, OS, how's an OS now? It's nice.
I would actually think of firmware as a cooler word. Like it's like
firmware. The software, hardware, firmware.
That's like operating system. It's like, what is it?
All these wares, I'm gonna make my own ware.
This was gonna be called my own ware.
I know, right? True, you can make it whatever you want. It's just like a blank.
You guys can go ahead and download my own ware. It's pretty cool.
Now, but it have to be a type of thing, not an actual program, because then it just be software.
Yeah.
So, okay, moving along. Let's talk about the Zune HD and the iPod. Let's bring up this.
Just in general.
This little chart we have. All right. So,
comparing the two.
Yeah, the iPod Touch, just in case you don't know, and the Zune HD. In my opinion, I think the Zune HD is better. And I don't know about you.
And of course, like personally, I would say the iPod's better because I've actually had it and I've used it, and it's very, very good. So, based upon prices, though, because I got mine as a present, like if I didn't get mine as a present, I wouldn't have bought the iPod. I would have bought the Zune, because I would have done research and I would have found out that the Zune is a little bit better because it has the same capacity and stuff. Like the 32 gig, I believe it cost $300 plus. When I got it, and the Zune HD is a lot cheaper. It's like between like.
We're back. We're back.
Yeah. So like I was saying, it really depends on like you basically, like and what you're looking for, and if you have the money to buy it. I say if you have the money, I guess if you want to get the more popular one.
So let's just compare the specs real quick. Okay, so Zune HD. This is a pretty old chart because it's not. Updated, but Zune HD has capacities of 16 gigabytes and 32 gigabytes, which actually they have also a 64 gigabyte, which is also available, but it's not. It's a pretty old chart. And iPod Touch has 8 gigabyte, 32 gigabyte, and 64 gigabyte. iPod is good, got that 8 gigabyte, which because not everybody's a music freak. 8 gigabytes is a lot of space for just music.
Yeah.
But let's go down to the prices. These are like pretty old prices, but this is what it was back then. It was $219 for the 6 gigabyte Zune HD.
And it's pretty much still in range though. Like still have the same thing.
Yeah, and $289 for a 32-bit gigabyte. 32-bit. So 8 gigabyte was $200 for the iPod Touch, which is kind of weird because if you just add $20 to that, you can get the 16 gig. The Zune HD, which I think is a good deal.
Yeah, like 20 extra gigs. 28 extra gigs for $20 extra.
So yeah, overall the Zune is a bit smaller, weighs less, has more battery life. Is 33 with just audio, compared to 30 hours of the iPod. Video, if it's just video, is 8.5 hours and 6 hours in the iPod Touch. It has an OLED light, which is pretty sweet, and the iPod has a LED light, LED screen. Screen size is smaller by 0.2 inches. Resolution, they have the same width, but just Zune HD is a little smaller on the height. The software, you got your Zune software, you got iTunes for the iPod. Online music. Let's get to something more interesting. They both have the same type of keyboard. Audio formats, they seem to both have similar ones, but the Zune actually has a bit more than the actual iPod. They have more video formats. They both have only one type of audio.
JPEG.
One type of picture format. Video output, that's what I love about the Zune HD. It has HDMI, which is pretty sweet, and it gets pretty high definition on your screen. They both have podcast support. Has Audible 4 and Overdrive. This one has Audible 2, 3, and 4. the iPod, and has HD radio. That's pretty sweet, FM. But you can't record with the Zune HD like voice wise, but you can do it with the iPod. So I guess overall, I think personally I would get the Zune and Zune HD because it's for music. I like it, and it also has other stuff, but I would rather like have it for music, and it can sync up with the Xbox, and you could have, let's say if you rent a movie out on your Xbox, you'll be able to see it on your Zune, which that's pretty sweet. Or the other way around. Well, you won't be rent. You could rent, but you won't be.
I actually didn't know that.
So yeah, that's pretty sweet. You could use Microsoft points too. Like if you buy a Microsoft points card, you can use it. It goes with your gamer tag, so you can log in with your gamer tag information. And that's why I love the Zune.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna be getting one.
The Zune is pretty cool. But like I said, I got the thing as a present. So
if you could exchange it, what do you?
If I could exchange it, would I don't know. It seems kind of rude, but I guess like the person didn't care. Probably.
No, I'm saying like if let's just say you had it,
yeah,
and like it just popped out from the sky. Would you exchange it for a Zune?
If it popped out the sky, I'd keep both of them.
No, I mean like let's say like you had it. Would you like give it up or no? Like if you had to.
If I had to?
Like if you had to keep your iPod or the Zune, like you had.
If I had a choice.
Yeah, pretty much.
If it was a choice between the iPod and the Zune.
Like if you had the iPod though. First.
Well, like that's what I'm saying. So this is one thing though. Like does it have as much apps and stuff like that? Can you do more like stuff?
Apps? It doesn't have the most apps, especially as much as Apple. It's like all they have is apps. Now I'm not saying that they're not good at music and all that, but they have a lot of apps for an MP3 player. Because it is like for the iPhone and stuff, and you can get some, but it's a bunch of apps.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just keep my iPod though, because I'm pretty comfortable with it. I like it.
Soon. So this is the end of this podcast. I'm gonna get my Zune next week, hopefully.
We didn't get to talk about the tablets. We'll talk about it next time.
Well, this is probably not even gonna get all in anyway. It's probably gonna be broken up into 2 parts.
Yeah, so you guys can just watch both of them.
All right. So wait, that being said, you want to continue? Not really. It's already 16 minutes.
Yeah, you could just cut into three sections.
Okay. Nah, but I'm just saying, I'm just gonna cut into 2, and then both like.
Actually, you can cut them into 3 sections. 1, 2, and 3.
Shut up! I'm gonna cut into 2 sections.
Okay, fine then.
Like,
whatever. Have them sit for 8 minutes now.
You don't have to sit through. That's the thing. Okay, so little disagreement, but. We got it. Okay, this is the end of this podcast. This is probably part 2 if you're watching it.
Yeah, so.
Because it's already 16:30. Okay. Like 16.
Yeah, I know. But you read it. That's the funny part. Like,
I know. Whatever. Let them know.
So it's going to be like 8 minutes each.
So it's about to be 7. So, yeah. Let's get this done quick before it hits 17 minutes. Silent Mr. Dave
and Mr. Chubby Monkey here.
We'll be doing some more of these podcasts. Some will be coming soon, so be ready for those. Also, our YouTube videos will be coming out soon. I know Mrs. Silent Mr. Dave. Never mind, I'm talking to myself. I know Mr. Chubby Monkey's videos will be coming out soon.
Yeah, sorry about that, by the way.
His computer totally gayified. I told him to get AVD, do you AVD? Whatever. So the point is, that's it. We're ending. Silent Mr. Dave. I guess I should put a question up too also.
What do you think about the government closing?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Okay, really.
How do you feel about it?
How do you feel about the government closing now? Should it close down? Are you Republican? Are you Democrat? Are you nothing? Are you don't know anything?
I
don't know what I am.
I think I'm Democrat. I think I probably be Democrat.
Okay, whatever. So, leave your comments below. Also, remember to watch these 2 videos that are going to be up. And see you next time.
Mr. Chubby Monkey.
Silent Mr. Dave.
Don't forget to subscribe to me.
And me too.
And me 3.
Shut up.
You.
Shut up. Bye.